There's a common theme going around that 1 week in cryptocurrency is like 1 month in classic traditional investing with stock markets. Well, here's the real kicker. 1 week in NFTs is like 1 month in cryptocurrency. Things just move faster here. Now, this past week, we had a lot of interesting launches where there were some new NFT projects that had tremendous price action. But nothing had more interesting price action than the Solana NFT blue chips because we continue to see more capital outside of Solana flowing in. Of course, in this video, what we're going to talk about is the major sale of them all, the monkey sale. But we're also going to be talking about what's going on behind the scenes with the Degen Apes, what happened with the Thugbirdz in the past week, a lot, and then my other favorite blue chip, the Geckos. I'm also going to throw in a little mention for things like the Red Panda Squad and the Meerkats and the Solsteads, all of which have potential to actually become a Solana NFT blue chip. Let's go. The largest NFT sale on record in Solana was recorded this past weekend. It was the King Monkey itself. The number one ranked Solana monkey sold for an equivalent of 2.1 million United States dollars. Unbelievable, because the Solana monkeys have only been out since August 3rd. Beyond that, we saw some fascinating news coming in from FTX. Some real hints, some real teasers are now coming to life. And last Monday, 7 days ago, I declared that the Geckos were the next Solana NFT blue chip. If you listened to me, you made a tremendous amount of money because it took about a week for people to actually catch on to the fact that they were the next Solana NFT blue chip. In fact, FTX's tweeting about the Geckos was pretty much solidified that. But nonetheless, we're going to break down everything that's going on here, especially the exciting FTX news. But before we go on, know that nothing that I say in this video should ever be construed as financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not an expert. I'm just an average Joe off the street having a conversation with my friends about things that I am passionate about. So you should always do your own research and make the investments in things that make sense for you and your family and your situation. So let's get started. So what happened first? This is actually important because it sets up a timeline of events, right? Where does bullish sentiment come from? And I can't think of anything more bullish right now than the FTX marketplace. The FTX marketplace, for those of you who aren't in the know, FTX is one of the very largest exchanges on planet Earth for trading cryptocurrency, for being a fiat on-ramp for cryptocurrency, and for being an on-ramp for all other exchanges. They actually have fiat-to-fiat exchanges handled on FTX too. It's a major place for just dealing with currency transactions in general, and cryptocurrency is kind of where they specialize. Now, FTX has Tom Brady on board. They bought Blockfolio, which had partnered with Trevor Lawrence, so now technically FTX has Trevor Lawrence involved too, and they've got this big campaign right now going like, "Are you in?" where Tom Brady calls everyone and says, "Are you in?" They are building an NFT marketplace that is built to compete with OpenSea effectively. That's what they're trying to do. Now, FTX, the owner of FTX, Sam Bankman-Fried, or SBF as everybody calls him for short, has a separate venture capital firm, which is one of the largest firms to invest in Solana. There's actually a very famous tweet that SBF has where he more or less tried to tell everyone, just sell me as much Solana as you possibly want for $3. That was back in January, and look at what SBF did since then. So their marketplace is going to be a multi-chain marketplace, but they have a lot of belief in the Solana blockchain, just like everybody else does. And that's why they are promoting Degen Apes, Aurori, which you know me well enough to know that I haven't mentioned them, especially in the NFT blue chip space. I'll talk about why in a little bit. Thugbirdz, and of course, monkeys. They tweeted this, very importantly, on September 30th, the last day of the month on September 30th. Now, in a previous interview with Bloomberg, Brett, the president of FTX, was quoted as saying that they are around a month away from launching. That was late September when they said it. So we're kind of got our eyes on the end of October for this NFT marketplace launching. And they're going to be selective. This is important. They're going to be selective about what NFT projects they allow to list on the marketplace. This is no different from how Solana is selective about what NFT markets or NFTs they allow to launch on it. And clearly, they picked what they believe is the top four: apes, birds, monkeys, and Rory. Now you're thinking, Knox, why don't you like a Rory? Why haven't you been talking about a Rory? Artwork is great, a lot of community hype. It is a gaming-based NFT, and there's no game. I don't buy video games without even seeing like gameplay footage, and that's why I'm not buying into Star Atlas either. You want me to spend thousands of dollars on your NFT and hype it as a gaming NFT when there's no game? I'm not doing it. Sorry. I'm particular about what I invest in, and if you're really trying to tell me that your product is a game, but I can't see the game, well, I'm not in it. Now, right there, same day, there it is, the Geckos. Not going to say I told you so. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to say it. Don't say it, Knox. I told you so. I told you 1 week ago when the floor of the Geckos was 12, I told you that they had all the pieces of the puzzle to do something special. What did we see happen this weekend? FTX says, oh, the Geckos, now we see Aurora here and Degen Apes here. It's like they're saying, you're part of the club too. We know you're a big deal. Here's your promo. Now, that's what they're doing here. That's what they're symbolizing to the world, that they are a blue chip. They are. They're absolutely a blue chip. And what followed was just tremendous price action as Ethereum whales continued to pile in to Solana NFT blue chips. Now, again, I mentioned this in the earlier video today where I talked about why Ethereum whales are coming to Solana. There is a psychology component that is playing very importantly there. And if you didn't watch my video on the upcoming NFTs that I'm watching and how I'm researching them, then you missed out. You need to circle back to that because there's big opportunities in play there. So, with that being said, this happened on September 30th. Arguably going to be the biggest exchange NFT exchange in existence. I think everybody has kind of like accepted that at this point, and they have signaled that they're very hyped for these projects to be listed on their marketplace. Now, does that mean that there are only 5 NFTs that are going to be listed on their marketplace? No. I would be willing to bet that there are at least 3 more that I'm going to talk about at the end of this video that will be added to that marketplace before all is said and done. I'd encourage you to look at those and consider them as a major opportunity and a major win. Now, so that was announced September 30th. What happened next? It happened next. The sale of Solana happened next. This happened on October 1st. The next day, 13,027 SOL, or approximately $2.1 million, was exchanged for this Solana monkey. Now, there's a lot of people who are speculating that SBF was the actual buyer of it. I'm not totally convinced myself, but there's a lot of people who think that. The Solana monkey floor went absolutely bonkers after that point. The Solana monkeys, in like 1 week, went from an already like stellar and high floor of like 150 to now 299. The floor is basically doubled. I think at one point it was like in the mid 300s. And that 299 is going to evaporate really quickly. They're going to be back into the mid 300s like in a day. So the Solana monkey floor now, if you just assume that Sol is going to be $200, the Solana monkey floor is $60,000. That's not chump change anymore, folks. That's a big deal. And why is this so amazing? Why did I open up my video talking about how things quickly move? The Solana monkeys minted on August 3rd. It is October 4th at the time that I'm recording this, so effectively 2 months have passed since they minted, and they went from, like an $80 mint to a $60,000 floor with a $2.1 million sale. If you're not a believer in Solana NFTs at this point, or, very importantly, what difference just 1 week can have in your investment style, then I don't know. When I'm looking at my NFTs, I'm like, Do I need the money right now, or can I hold out just one more week? A week passes by, and I ask the same question again. Do I need the money right now, or can I hold out just one more week? Look what happens in a week. Look what happens. The floor went from $30,000 to $60,000 in a week, assuming that SOL was $200 because it's a nice even round number. I don't know. I'm happy for all of you that are listing right now. You're probably going to make a huge profit. With the FTX marketplace being just 2 or 3 or 4 weeks away, I couldn't imagine a world where I would list anything right now. But that's what it is. It is what it is. So, or at least, list for the prices that I want when the FTX marketplace launches. Like, that's how I've got my geckos listed right now. If I jump over to on sale, let's talk about those geckos for a second, shall we? I have my geckos listed. I'll let you see them. I'll let you see my geckos. I have them listed for 5,000, 5,000, 5,000, and 1,000 SOL. So I am expecting to get millions of dollars from these geckos. I believe they are worth that much. They are rare. If you go by scarcity, they are highly ranked if you go by rate. So I believe that the marketplace is headed in that direction. I believe that if the Bored Apes and the CryptoPunks can do it in 4 to 6 months' time, I can wait 4 to 6 months' time if that's how long it takes. However, the Solana NFT marketplace has now proven that they can move at a faster pace than that. They can now go from mint to multi-million-dollar sales in 2 months. So the geckos minted, what, like less than 2 weeks ago at this point? Okay, and where are they now? Where are the geckos now? In roughly 10 days' time. Let's take a look at how my geckos are doing that I believe so strongly in. Oh, I clicked on Lunaria. I don't know anything about that project. Let's scroll down and let's just go to collections because I know they're going to be the top volume at 106,000 sold traded with a floor of 48. So 7 days ago, if you bought a floor gecko, when I was recording my video of 12 SOL, you would have quadrupled your money in 7 days. Oh, what a difference 1 week makes. Quadrupled. 48 SOL. The top ranking one, or the top rarity ones, let's take a look at my neon greens. Where are they at right now? 210 SOL is the floor for a neon green. You saw my market analysis video on the geckos? When I recorded it, what were the ghostly and the spectral floors then? Like 60, 68 or something like that? Floor doubled in like 4 or 5 days for those. Now they're up to 130. I still think that's a huge gap between ghostly white and neon green, or spectral black and neon green. I think that gap is too big. But people are absolutely running the prices up for ultra traits. Let's take a look at the augmented mouth trait for a second. 109. Let's take a look at sunbeam eyes for a second. 82. Oh no, what have I done? Go back. The floor was 82. Now, what do the geckos have going on that is so incredibly special? There's only one place to find out, where they leak all of their juicy goods, and that's in their Discord. So if I jump over to Discord and sift it through absolutely all of the spam and fake postings and, hack attempts, I can jump to their Discord, and what do I see but the lore section? They continue to post interesting things, and now they've given us a little hint as to what the Enigma Crystal will unlock and what is actually going on behind the scenes. I think this is so fascinating. Not quite as hot as the body of a live gecko, but hot enough to show up on the screen. Now, somebody in the Discord, in the private verified Discord, the channel Gecko Garage, posted the question, baby geckos? And one of the mods replied with the eyes emoji. So, are we getting baby geckos, or is there something special actually hatching on the inside? I don't know. It's kind of fascinating, and it's fun to watch and go through the process. So, again, I hope you collected your 4 geckos. It's going to take one of each faction. We talked about that in the market analysis video again last week. They posted a lot of information in the FAQ about how you're going to get your Enigma Crystal. If you have one of each faction or 4 geckos, you have an 100% chance to get your Enigma Crystal. I have mine, unless somebody comes along and, buys my very clean geckos for $1 million. Sam, I'm looking at you. I think, they're just doing it. They're just doing all the right things. They really are. It's just an amazing project. They continue to give us lore every time there's a big sale, which is all the time now. They do a cool thing where they retweet the big sale on the sales bot, and they actually talk about what is a piece, like what does that earpiece actually do? They give you a little hint about the backstory of the earpiece and why it is what it is. I just think that's so cool. All right, got monkeys, got geckos. What is going on with my Thugbirdz? This is so fun to watch. I gave away 3 Thugbirdz when they were I gave away 3 Thugbirdz when they were like 10 soul each, 8 soul each. And here they are now sitting at I see some good deals right here, guys. Here they are now sitting at a floor of 118. Again, what a difference a week makes. I think a week ago when I was talking about it, their floor was at like 50, and now they've more than doubled that floor in the same amount of time frame. And when I gave these things away for like 8 sold, that was only like 3 weeks ago, 3 or 4 weeks ago. I mean, 1 month, and look at what's happened. They've 10x'd their prices. That's just the way projects go, you guys. And I'm going to dwell on this a little bit more when we start talking about the projects that have the potential to become blue chips. But that's just the way these projects go, is that they're just rocketing. The birds have one of the most special communities. Thugbirdz and turtles have truly special communities. I love the turtles because they don't talk about the floor at all. They just bash the salamanders and spit out the hottest memes around. The turtles are seeing this huge ramp up right now. They minted for like 0.33. Their floor now is at 15. The artwork itself is cool. It doesn't really do it for me the way it does for most people. I don't mean to bash them in any way. It's a cool project. They make me laugh regularly, which is very important for me. I want to have fun with my NFTs. I want that kind of culture. And it feels like the Thugbirdz, which I think is a really, really cool thing. There's another project that feels like the Thugbirdz. I'm going to talk about it later. But nothing but respect for the Thugbirdz and the things that they're doing. This is amazing. Watch the videos that I made on how to snipe these. They're clearly a blue chip, and they follow almost identically to what the monkeys are doing because so many monkey holders hold Thugbirdz. So, when something happens with monkeys, chances are they rotate capital into Thugbirdz, and that's what's happening. Now, last up, we're going to talk about is the Degen Ape Academy. The Degen Apes are building quietly behind the scenes. I don't know why people aren't talking about this more, because to me, they're still clearly got some of the best artwork that I've seen. A lot of people don't like the artwork. Actually, that's not true. Some people, I talk about in DM, some people don't like the artwork, but I think they're just salty at the end of the day that they missed out on the mint or the mint was botched. I mean, come on. Look at these 2 guys. That is clean. I like both of those. Like, this guy in particular really does it for me. I really like that. And I wish I had 80 soul. I'd buy it. That's I just really like the Degen Apes. I really do. The Leos, to me, still are legitimately some of the best looking NFTs in all of NFTs. If we filter out by leopard skin, the leopard skin Leos, especially the clean ones where they're shirtless. That really does it for me. I really like cheetah prints in general. The background meshes really well. A little attribute with mouth or hat looks really cool. But beyond that, they're doing some special work behind the scenes with the DAO. They're doing the on-chain governance token, which they said was a crayon, which I think is really, really funny. Let's bring up their actual page. I keep clicking on the stuff. There we go. The Degen Ape Academy. There we go. So this is it. They pinned the tweet. They've got their eyes. They gave you a little hint of something that's going on. So clearly, the Degen Ape bag, that's a hint, and there's also the Degen Ape visor here. This almost makes me think like you should be buying up things with Degen Ape attributes that makes me think there's something special going on here. They're taking out the trash. What does TD stand for? And notice there's a reflection in the water on the ground that doesn't match up with what's actually on the screen. The TD is there, which is interesting. The trash bag is there, which is interesting. It is overflowing. I can't tell what the shape of the trash bag is. There's also a symbol right here on this box. This is Chinese food. I don't think the Degen Apes sell Chinese food. So, are they partnering with somebody? Are they partnering with something that has like an Asian spin to it? What does that symbol look like? It kind of looks like an alien. It kind of looks like a panda kind of style looking with the black and white eyes. I don't know. It's interesting. They've got stuff coming on the way, guys, and it's a great opportunity to get into what is clearly going to be always around, always one of the hottest NFTs in existence, and I can't speak highly enough that there are interesting things coming, and I'm very impressed. I'm very impressed with how they're turning around some negative PR that they had. I'm very impressed with how the community is staying so incredibly united and almost doubling down on this project. They're buying up more. We saw some mega sales, some multi-$100,000 sales recently over the last week, so that is amazing, and that's pretty impressive. Now, so those are the NFT blue chips and what's going on and why I think that's driving them. Now, what is the next NFT blue chip that, I've got my eyes on? I'm going to say it. I'm going to keep on saying it because I believe it's true. I believe the red pandas deserve to be in the list. Their market prices, so first of all, their floor, what a difference a week makes, went from 0.8 to 2.98, and in just a blink of an eye, if I scroll down one row, 5 pandas away from getting it from 0.8 to 3 SOL. That is fascinating. That is a humongous price drive, and their listings 1 week ago were around 5,000. I think they were actually over 5,000. Now they're down to 2,100. If that trend continues, they're going to be, closing in on 10% or less availability in the supply in the marketplace right now. The team continues to bust their ass to deliver and bring content and build this. They're building out an animated short story and series that they claim is going to be really funny. They have a Halloween event airdrop that's going on right now. There's giveaways going on, including on my own Twitter. I'm giving away one of these, Rank 107. I'm giving away Rank 107 on my Twitter today. And I think it's really important. I just retweeted this. I'm going to show you what I just retweeted because I said I was going to touch on this. A different user who's coming from the Ethereum space, their profile picture is a mutant ape, joined the Red Panda Discord and got early Thugbirdz vibes. I didn't say this. This isn't me. I didn't tell this guy to say this. They're just talking about it on its own. And he bought a Saiyan for 29.5 SOL. That's not a particularly small sale if you consider that SOL is something like $200. That means it cost this guy $6,000 to get a Saiyan. If you're a believer like me that the team is really working, that this community really cares, and you're witnessing right now their markets start to evolve as they start this huge upward trend, as people are entering the community, supply is dwindling, and the rare sales, the rare ones, the uncommon ones are now gone because multiple people bought them up. I'm one of them, but there are a lot of people who bought them up. Now we're seeing, the mid tiers start to sell as the floor adjusts and catches up to that too. I think that this team has everything that it has to stay at the table. I believe that major marketplace, they're already listed on Solana. That's a big deal. But I also believe that you're going to see these guys listed on FTX because the artwork is so incredibly good. The team is so incredibly committed. The community is so incredibly committed. And if you listened to me a week ago or whenever I started talking about these, you've now witnessed a price appreciation. If you bought, I think when I recorded my video last week, I think the floor was at 1.5. Now it's at 3. If you bought in, you made an 100% profit in 7 days. And I believe that that's only getting started, and that this team has everything that it takes to deliver and become a blue chip someday. What else do I believe could or will become a blue chip someday. I am happy to tell you about this, and I mentioned this again in the upcoming NFTs videos early today. If you want a deeper dive into what's going on with these, I will be happy to show you. Let's go over to new collections and scroll over just a little bit and bring up Solsteads. Unbelievable price action coming from Solsteads. They minted last week and are already at 85 Sol because of the, well, first of all, very limited supply. I think that's an important thing to keep in mind. But second of all, just the unique project that they're bringing to the table. You actually live on an address with neighbors that you could, hang out with or whatever and see who they are. And then you get to decorate your house with your favorite NFTs. The price action here is fascinating and fun to follow. I believe that Solsteads can and will eventually be called a Solana NFT blue chip someday. I don't believe they're going anywhere at all. Now, the last one is a bit of a wild card. This is one that I wasn't entirely sold on up front, and then after investigating, I was so sold on it that I went all in. I literally dropped like 300 Sol, or like 50 or 60,000 bucks on this project, and that's the Meerkat Millionaires Country Club. I am planning on having dedicated content, a dedicated video to just the Meerkats coming up. Interesting thing about the Meerkats is they return 100% or about 100% of all royalties back to the holders. If you minted and are holding right now, they're not listed, they're sitting in your wallet, you will get 100% of your share of the royalties handed back to you. If you didn't mint, but you are holding, you will get 85% of your share of the royalties handed back to you. Right now, as of the time of this recording, they've had 48,000 Sol transacted on Solana. They're also listed on Magic Eden. All of that feeds back, all of their royalties, I should say. Now, and that's misleading. 48,000 Sol is the volume. That's not what they've had traded. They're going to get a royalty percentage, make up something like 10%, feeds back into their bucket of that, and that's what they're going to redistribute back to the holders. So at this point, the way it looks right now is you're going to get about 1 Sol per Meerkat that you hold. We don't know if that's going to be, monthly or weekly or whatever, but they've accumulated at least 1 Sol per Meerkat as it stands right now. Again, I said this in the previous video, I don't think that's a big deal. If I want to earn passive income, I'm going to mine, or I'm going to stake, or I'm going to go into DeFi. That's where passive income really gets yielded. That's where you make the real money. NFTs are an asset that appreciates. We're talking about literally doubling, tripling, quadrupling, quintupling your money in 7 days. Why do I care about, a 4% return, or a 5%, or a 10%, or a 20% return on my NFTs? The only reason I would care about that is if I legitimately believe I'm going to hold it for all eternity. That way, if I'm never going to realize my capital gain, then at least I can get some form of passive income from it. That's the only way that I can see a benefit from having passive income. Otherwise, the passive income is so low that there's no reason I would forego a 400% return just to get a passive income. So that's my thought on these passive income strategies. I immediately blow it off. I don't think it's a huge deal, but I realize that the market is pretty hyped about this, and that's pretty cool. The Ethereum whales piled into this project in a huge way. The artwork is cool. It's not the best that I've ever seen. I think the Red Panda's artwork is much better, but the artwork is cool. They've got some interesting attributes. Their rarity index is fantastic, although they really need to work on putting together a graphic for it, because right now it really just kind of lives as a CSV on their GitHub page. They are on How Rare, so if you watch my videos on how to snipe steals, you now know exactly how to go about doing that. One of the interesting opportunities that came up for me is I was able to get a robot. The robot is the second rarest fur in existence. I'll pull up robots real quick. The floor on robots on Solana is 135. I was able to get rank 104 overall robot on Magic Eden for 98 Sol. So not only did I get a robot with an immediate appreciation based on arbitrage, but I also got a highly ranked one. So you might want to look at both markets whenever you're sniping Meerkats, because there's a huge arbitrage opportunity. Now, I'm desperate to see where this project goes. I know they have an ecosystem plan. One of the things that got me really jacked up about this project that I highlighted in the video on upcoming NFTs. If you didn't watch it, go watch it, because there's so much alpha there that it's going to get you really jacked to the tits. So go watch it and learn about what I did when I was researching this project and why I aped into this so hard when I wasn't totally sold on it up front. So with that being said, I believe the Meerkats also have everything, especially the momentum right now, to become a Solana NFT blue chip. So there you go. Those are my 3 that I think there's tremendous opportunities for long run. If you're not a quick flipper, if you really want to buy and hold, wait for the FTX market, and revisit this around Christmas time, I think those 3 projects are the ones that I would do it again. Not financial advice, do your own research. All right, that's my take on the NFT analysis for this blue chips of what happened in the last week. Subscribe. That way you can be updated as the environment and the landscape changes. And again, follow me on Twitter. Thank you all so much for those of you who have. It sincerely means a lot to have cleared 1,000 subscribers in under 2 weeks. It's unbelievable. You guys are unbelievable. All right. Thanks for stopping by, y'all. Have a good one.